It's the guy who claimed that he figured out how they built the pyramids, yeah. And yeah, he charged 10 cents for entrance. It's like a weird fucking thing. Now it's like a historic site now. Anyway, we should play some Dwarf Fortress. Although I will say, a lot of artists are crazy people. All right, friends. If you're afraid of the Florida man engineering, I'm not. Creepy but talented? Yeah, no, I think I like the term fascinating. Vecro in YouTube chat. Like, insanity can drive people to some wild creativity. So before we dive in, I just would like to remind everybody, this is a crowdfunded stream. I'm going to throw a goal up on the YouTube chat. It's mostly for the YouTube algorithm, but there is a goal there if you decide to throw supers or whatever. As far as the Twitch chat goes and the YouTube chat goes, if you're watching here on Twitch, congratulations, you won. But if you would like to help with the YouTube stream at no cost to you, here's a link to the YouTube stream where you could go leave a like on it. It currently has 11 likes and 36 people watching on the YouTube side. Over here on Twitch, we have, refresh, 120 people watching. And, of course, if you would like faster responses to things that you type into a chat, Twitch is the place to be, because that's where I see chat first, because this chat's generally more active, so it's the one I look at. Although I do read the YouTube chat, so if you're willing to wait a little bit longer, feel free to type there as well. But of course, if you could leave a like on the YouTube stream, that'd be great. And for the folks on the YouTube side of things, if you want to help with the Twitch chat, same statement, at no cost to you. Here is a link to the Twitch stream where you could lurk and help increase the view count. Lastly, this is a crowdfunded channel. I don't do sponsored segments and help you be like my one neighbor who fills up the trash bin with HelloFresh garbage every week. So instead, I simply say, if you like the stuff that I do, please share it. Or alternatively, you could look into supporting the channel either via Twitch subscription, Prime subscription, traditional tips, and or going to my blog and supporting me there. It's kind of like Patreon, but it supports me directly without any external fees, with the exception of Stripe, which is pennies on the dollar. So that is all. Let's dive in. I also just got a text from my aunt that I might need to respond to in a moment, so. Because my aunt just sent me a text saying, remember that her and my uncle are coming over. And I'm like, wait, was that next week or today? Because it's in my calendar as next week. But if it's today, that's fine. It's just in the afternoon. You've awoken from your torpor only to realize that you are alive, and you guess you will watch a blind stream. Well, congratulations on continued existence. Okay, so I'm still liking this new keyboard. Welcome back to Fortress SKULLPONDERS, a fortress that was built around building a big library and then ballooned into building a big library in the lava sea because I don't like having free time. The named dwarves in the fort are Lanix, who is the mayor and has been the mayor for some time, who demanded multiple clear glass items, including a throne and a statue, which I've put in their office. We have napalm sideburns. Also, there's two napalms in the fortress, by the way, napalm. We also have Asuria, and the Trent Reznor, the one and only. Merlin Buff would like a librarian. I'll have to make a librarian then. We've got a Sideburns as well, alongside of Trent Reznor. We've got, would you like a bearded librarian or a non-bearded librarian? We got Paddywhack. And we got Moreb. Alongside of Moreb and Paddywhack, we have Gutville, or Gutvile, and Bismuth, Stormwolf, Bunny, Pumpy McDarius, who's a diagnoser. We've also got a Giant Slayer who killed a giant. My military's pissed. I need to work on that a little bit. And we've got Gumbo and Stormpup, as well as several dwarves. And Hammerface, the Mace Lord, and Bonesaw, the recruit. Are you dead? Yes. Bearded Librarian request. Also, YouTube chat. The first person to put 3... Do book emoji exists? 3 books into the YouTube chat can name something. Let's go with the Astronomer Potash Maker. Is this the same world as the last 2 forts? Yes, this is the 3rd fort I've done in this world. Okay, so I, for a second there, thought my aunt was coming over today, but thankfully I was right. It is, in fact, next week. I was like, oh, geez, I need to clean my kitchen. But no, Yusharir is now an astronomer, who's Moreb. Brian, what kind of Dwarfus would you like, sis? Gumbo is still, in fact, alive. You know, I ask myself if I'm alive or dead almost every morning. Can I just say that Machine Armor is one of the best names I've seen in a minute? Like, that is pretty A+. Strumico Penguin. Hello. He is never moved by the emotions of others, and is constantly ablaze with feelings of lust. He likes to present himself boldly, even if it would offend the average sense of modesty, and is given to flights of fancy, to the point of distraction. He finds helping others emotionally rewarding, and is easily moved to mercy. He is grateful when others help him out, and he tries to return favors. He's not particularly interested in what others think of him, and he tends to avoid crowds. He tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects, and he does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. He tries to get things done perfectly and can sometimes act without deliberation. He is trusting and does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and he has a calm demeanor and generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. Often talks to inanimate objects when he's nervous. He personally finds the pursuit of skill mastery off-putting, and sees perseverance in the face of adversity bullheaded and foolish. Doesn't care about art one way or another, and dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. He likes dolomite and steel and black pyrope, as well as crystal glass and the color pumpkin. Cabochons, battle axes, and deer for their grace, and the words of the Golden Gorge, and the sight of the velvet meadows, and when possible prefers to consume giant narwhal and cuttlefish, and one-humped camel cheese, and bayberry wine, and bilberries? Was that what that said? And bilberries, and absolutely hates mussels. He's married to Kubak, and his only son, is dead, and his only daughter is still alive. And you know what? His wife is engraving memorials. Well, could be better, could be worse. Rip his son and Dean. Sad story. Brian would like a farmer. I should have a farmer. Which one would you like, Brian? Well, thanks for continuing to hang out in the streams. You know, you stuck around longer than many. I did not reclaim this a 3rd time. No, just twice. Or just once. I did that initial embark and then gave up on the fort and then re-embarked. How does one have taste for narwhal meat? You should look at the meat that humans bring in their trade caravans at some point. Some otters. They have some wild stuff. I had a whole human faction that like exclusively brought like orca stuff. The one quenching their thirst, this one? Okay. Bomwreck! Chain Channel. Good names today. We got Machine Armor and Chain Channel. Brian, McChain Channel, finds a chaotic mess preferable to harmonious living. Rarely develops negative feelings towards things, is confident under pressure, and likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract. He is quite polite, and he tends to be passive in discussions, and he is often nervous, and he tends to be swayed by the emotions of others. He tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects, and he can easily fall in love or develop positive feelings. He doesn't tend to hold on to grievances and tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions. He doesn't try to get things done perfectly and has a greedy streak, and he likes to get things done perfectly. He tends to consider what others think of him, and he is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live different from himself. And he has an active imagination. He dreams of mastering a skill, and personally believes the idea of war is utterly repellent. Would have peace at all costs, values cunning, and doesn't care about art one way or another. And likes copper, lead, and purple spinel, and red pyrope, the color beige, spears, and nightmen for their macabre ways. And the sound of the tressed lilac, when possible prefers to consume salmon and pearl mullet beer, and absolutely hates lizards. And he has a pet cat named Orion, who is still alive. I'm just gonna cheat real quick, because I feel bad when cats are injured. And yeah, you have a pet cat named Orion. And now I just need to find you. Where'd you go? There you are. And that's about it. Stupid ransomware? What'd you do? Did you get the payout from your ransomware that you gave out, though? Or was your ransomware not good enough, and so they didn't pay the bill? Instead, they just restarted their computer or whatever. Orca sounds worse than narwhal? I mean, I've never eaten orca or whale of any kind, and I probably won't ever. However, I did see an orca, like, a couple of weeks ago. I need to make a doctor's guild. That's currently what I need to do. This is my hospital, right here. And so maybe Doctor's Guild could go, like, right here. We're also very short on bedrooms. So I think what I'm going to do, actually, is I've got a lot of really pissed off dwarves right here. It's kind of a problem, actually. Most of my military is in a state of horrendous upset. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to go through to all of the dwarves in the military that are super pissed off and take them off of all tasks. And you also need to be taken off of this. And I'm going to see if I can just let them go relax for a bit. And I think... Who's running this squad? It's Moses? You're also pissed off specifically. Let's give them a break and also give these dwarves a break. Let's just give them a big old break because I need these militia dwarves to go unupset themselves a little bit. So stuff is collapsing a lot because I'm actively pouring water into the magma sea. Customer was ransomware. I figured. That sucks. Was it bad ransomware or was it like the, oh god, you got ransomware kind of ransomware? So we're trying to seal off as much of the magma sea as possible. And currently we're doing some pretty good work. I mean, we're almost at a point right now where this whole area over here is going to drain out, which is actually very good if that can be pulled off. This area right here is also almost sealed off, which is good. But I've noticed something. I've got this right here, and it goes all the way down to here, specifically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 levels. And then it ends up right here. Ends off right there. I could go up to here and drop the what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 13 layers? 13, 14, 14 layers. Right there. Very easily. I think that is the first project of the day. I think we're going to do a cave-in. I'm going to see, because the bottom of this says it's magma flow, which means I might not be able to seal it off. But I want to try. I want to see if I can drop a rock there. Or alternatively, right here. Because if I drop it here, that would actually seal off this and this. And then there's only that input right there. And that would allow me to get rid of a good chunk of the lava down here. If I can get rid of this. So that'll be my first test. Because if that works, then I can move on to other areas in here. So once again, it's all lava flow down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 levels. And that's where we start, by digging out that. Oh, that does suck. Okay, so bad ransomware. Got it. Well, best of luck, I suppose. Yesterday, I'm not sure how to recap this fort at this point, chat. So my question to you is, or my request to you is, if you're confused by something that I'm building, please ask questions. Just ask me what I'm doing, and I will do my damnedest to explain it. This fortress is kind of far gone, I guess, when it comes to the end game related things. And I will and can do my damnedest to explain it whenever possible, but it is gonna kind of be a challenge for me because this fort is pretty far into the end game, to kind of a bit of a ridiculous degree. So actually explaining what the fuck I'm doing in this game is quite difficult and not going to be getting much easier. So if you're confused, let me know. But the first order of business over here is making a doctor's guild. That's the first order of business here, is making a doctor's guild. So let's go make a doctor's guild. Did we ever figure out if this was a bug or not? I don't... Okay, so the Magma Sea is refilling. So that is not bugged. The Magma Sea is working as intended. I'm not positive if the rest of it is a bug or not. I do not know. I never really got a clear response from anybody. So results inconclusive. I don't have any direct confirmation one way or another as to whether or not it is or is not an intended behavior. Ice Blue, hello. It is good to see you. This is why I made so many gold tables, is so I can just do this whenever I want to, like, make a guild hall now. It's super easy and straightforward. Incredibly easy and straightforward. And I can just, like, crank up the value of a place just by doing stuff like this now. And it is kind of awesome. Kind of awesome. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's get rid of this meeting hall and make this out here into a meeting hall. Into the center here a little bit. and then make the center of this into a dining hall. And then connect them both to the same zone. So this can be a new guild hall, a doctor's guild. Just have to scroll down until I hit doctor's guild. Wherever doctor's guild is, there it is. And then I go over here, and then I click this and scroll down to the bottom. The Humble Hope. That's a good name for a doctor's guild. Currently has a value of 1,100, needs to get up to a value of 6,000. It's going great, Kravicus. How are you? Ice Blue as well. Hello, man. And I also have many slabs I gotta place. Many slabs I have to place. But how's Kravicus on this fine day? And all of this stuff should get constructed pretty quick, I would think. And I hope you guys like that mysterious clicking noise because it's not going anywhere. We're going to just keep hearing it. And the value of this is going to skyrocket, I presume. This is the beauty of having just like piles of gold. I can now approve that. Whenever I complain, chat, about not, like, whenever I complain about having to, you know, make a guild hall, you should just remind me that I've got fucking gold everywhere and shouldn't be whining. That's really what you need to do, is just be like, Blind, you've got piles of gold. Just, like, place gold tables everywhere. Still waiting on some results. Were you doing summer school? That seems late to be finishing up a semester, but regardless, though, I hope the semester went well. Were you finishing up school this year? I can't remember, Kravicus. Or was this like, or are you in the position of like, yep, now I got 4 more years left? I can't remember. But congratulations on finishing up the semester. Chat, can I get I don't know, a congratulations of whatever format you choose for our friend Kravicus here. I just had 2 dwarves caught in a pool of magma? Wait, what? Oh, wow. Why did I... Okay, well, not my smartest move. I thought I only queued up the 1 layer, but I queued up 2 layers. That's what I get for clicking quickly. I was like, man, a bunch of masterworks were lost. Would you look? It's fucking strange, man. Chat, can I get some Fs for those 2 dwarves I just burnt? Thankfully, the water dripping and the clicking sounds will go away eventually, I do swear. Keyword here is eventually. This is the area right here that I really wish was able to be sealed off completely right now, but they'll get it when this melts across here. And this is getting there as well, so it is good. Basically, I'm building a big library, which then turned into I'm building a big library that's also, and then it turned into I'm building a big library, but I'm also building a big library in the lava sea. Because I'm building in the lava sea, because I don't like free time. Because we're draining the lava sea. And hopefully Brian. Spring semester in the university, it can drag if the exams are scheduled like later. Still 3 years left. I mean, 3 years kind of, based on the speed at which the last 5 years appear to have completely vanished. That doesn't seem like that long of a period of time, really. I'm really curious about how this astronomer goes. Looks like we've satisfied the guild hall, and I haven't even placed all the tables yet, nor have I placed all the chairs. But the guild hall is in fact satisfied. So let's check out the most depressed dwarves in the fort currently. I'm removing a lot of dwarves from tasks. And just saying, go, like, take care of yourselves, dwarves. Because these dwarves, I need to let them happyify themselves, which is definitely a word, and I definitely didn't just make that up. I'm also going to take the opportunity of making another militia commander squad. Well, actually, let's make a captain of the guard squad, and they're going to use stone swords as well. And I'm going to throw peasants into this squad. And we are going to get this squad training. Because if somebody gets convicted of tantruming, might as well just bash their forehead in. So I'm going to let Bunny train for a little bit, because Bunny does want to train. And I have another petition. We have a woodworker guild request. Remember how earlier I said when they ask for guilds, just remind me, chat, to suck it up and build a goddamn guild? Well, that's what I'm doing. Although I kind of fucked up. This area up here is no longer accessible. So I'm just gonna, I think, dig through this. And then just build a walkway across there, because, well, I kind of have to. I don't really have another option. Don't forget I have gold. Thank you. I'd just forgotten. It's pretty miraculous that I'd forgotten. It's almost like selective memory or something. So this is going to be my woodworkers guild. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to do a wood statue. Can I make wood Okay, you can't make wooden statues. What can I make? Let's do a wooden table. Just one. And a wooden throne. Chair. Just one. I said one. Let's actually make 4. 4. And then let's do platinum statue. Let's do 2. 2 of those. Yes. And then I'm going to go up here and we're going to do gold thrones. Let's also go over here and put a gem window in. And a door. Made of maple, because it's the Woodcrafters Guild. I mean, woodworker. The fenced company. It's like a fenced community, but this time it's a company. You had a complex infection during which you lost around 6 kilograms. Oh, geez. That's scary. I mean, like, besides the part where I had a crazy infection that stopped me from being able to eat, everything's been great. Well, I'm glad you're capable of looking on the bright side of life. You're doing better than most of us, if that's the case. Certainly doing better than many of us. So those were the two miners that I lost, Alath and Fath. Well, at least we found them now. Alath, we've lost 2 dwarves. That was from my big whoopsie where I dropped them into lava. Which, not my brightest moment, but, you know, considering the last stream, yesterday, started off with me caving a bunch of dwarves into lava. It's becoming a tradition with this fort. Starts off with absolute calamity, and then I fix it. So, this is a tradition I would like to cease keeping up with. However, sometimes one can't be perfect, and I certainly am an example of somebody who is not perfect. Also Tubal. And Eustace. I don't know why I always get that name backwards. Now, the other problem is I should probably go through bedrooms and reassign all the ones for dwarves that are dead. The day they fix this bug will be a good day indeed. Although, if there's actually a DF hack command for this bug, I would love to know it. This is a rare instance where I would totally use a DF hack command. I should check their updates and see if they add anything. Let's just give one of my militia commanders that. Okay, well, that's all that. Let's go over here. Thankfully, like, the actual process of doing this isn't too time-consuming, but I wish it didn't need to be done. Also got a lot of bedrooms that need additions. Like this one needs a cabinet. And this one needs a cabinet. And this one needs a cabinet. Okay. I mean, hey, you know, like I said, it's a power that I'm sure many of us wish that we had. I know I often wish that I had that power. Although I think that this week I've been pretty okay at looking on the bright side of things. Just in general, you know? Like, you know, last week I did a thing one stream where I was like, I should make this into a thing, and then haven't done it since. Which is a word of the day. I think we need a positive word for the day.
Whoa.
Chat, what's a positive word for the day? If someone were to tell you, you have to come up with a positive word for today, what would you come up with? What'd I get? So I put up a post on my blog. And I got several messages afterwards that the title of it in their email scared them, which is saying goodbye. That was my old keyboard. I am keeping the novelties, like, keycaps, though, from Twitch. But the keyboard that I bought was this one. That was the keyboard that I bought. And is the keyboard that I bought. And I'm quite happy with it so far, actually. Like, I was, like, very dismayed upon looking for keyboards. And then I just simply went and looked for non-gaming mechanical keyboards and found a bunch of good options, but ended up settling with this. Because I like cherry switches, and I wanted something that was sturdy, and it's a metal backplate. It's one of those keyboards that feels like, oh, someone, you could just buy the parts and make this keyboard at home, but it was also under 80 bucks. It was on sale, admittedly, so on a pretty deep sale, but I got it for $70, which, like, I was pretty happy with it, or am pretty happy with it. Astounding can generally be considered positive. Bodacious. Bodacious could be a word for today. And also, I'm quite happy with how it looks in my lighting. 80 Canadian, yeah. So, like, 60 US? That's a long-ass streak, Wolfist Wolf. Considering, like, I think I probably broke a bunch of people's streaks in the last week because, you know, I was gone for a week and then popped back for one stream and then was gone for another week, and now I'm kind of back again. I think that process kind of caught a lot of people off. So let's approve that Woodworker Guild. Which is definitely been satisfied. It's a hell of a deal. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what was with the deep sale on it, but like, yeah, I'm quite happy with it for the amount that I paid for it. My last keyboard lasted for 7 years of pretty heavy use, and literally the switches were starting to fail, which kind of just says how often I use my keyboard for. So I'm hoping that I will get similar amount of time out of this one. I think something else I'm going to do is just go up to here and type in bars. I've got 164. Oopsies, that is not the button I wanted. I wanted backspace. That's the other problem with having a new keyboard is some buttons are closer together than others. Checking how much gold ore I have lying around right now. Because I feel like I should make... I feel like I should just make a bunch of gold jewelry. That, or let's check how much cloth do we have. Let's see. Oh, cloth 905. Yeah, you know, let's do cloth crafts. Let's do cloth amulets and cloth bracelets, maybe. I had to type in bracelets, but we're in an ad break. What other cloth craft should I make, chat? Let's do cloth cloaks. And just make those yearly. And actually just do 150. Maybe 100. Let's also stop making silk. Anything, so shoes and gloves. Get all that sorted. Cloth images? Can make cloth images? What the fuck is a cloth image? Are those claimable? So I've never made a cloth image before. What in the shit is this? Huh. Image of 120 coins was commissioned by the... I mean, that's... Yeah, but are they claimable? Like, can dwarves claim them? Try making them. I don't know. I've never seen that before, so I've never actually realized that that was a thing. Oh, am I just out of containers once again? Probably. It is decorations on clothing. Wait, really? Well, today I learned you can do that. Hold on a second. Wow. Well, the more you know. Thank you for sharing. I had zero clue that you could do that. So thank you for educating me on how to play this video game. I feel really dumb. But thank you. You know, that people call me this, all of these like super flattering terms, and yet here I am, simply a peasant who has much to learn. They're called images, yeah. Looks like you can, yeah, it looks like you can make leather images. I'm just gonna wait until like it queues up and then queue it up. Find a dwarf who's doing it. And see what they do. Okay, so Chief Medical Dwarf is sewing a cloth image. So it looks like it's... It was made from our cloth. Okay, yeah, no, like, they literally just, like, put an image of it on the thing that they stitched. Well, that's fascinating. Why haven't I been doing that the whole time? Like I said, now I feel dumb. As you always produce cloth, you often use it. Yeah, I never even thought to look. Yeah, I don't know. I feel really dumb. So, yeah. More news at 11, I guess. It seems like the image is like an engraving, so based on the quality of the skill of the craft, it increases the value of it, I presume. Yeah, I don't know. That's like I said, that's wild. Okay, so let's go right here and just queue this up. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's just do 15 levels, because that'll make my job here a lot easier. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to go up one here. All the way down. Yeah, easy enough. Now the next thing I need to do is, well, connect to this sucker. And then I guess the top is where I will put the support. Good for trading? Yeah, I completely believe it. You can make high-quality images on worn socks. Well, apparently a large rat drank some of my wine, which checks out, honestly. So this is going to be my next project-ish thing. That'll take a little bit for them to dig, but we'll let them get to work on it. While over here continues to flood and continues to fill. Oh, hey, shit, they actually managed to get this corner. That's good. I'm so happy about that. Which means this lower area down here is going to slowly drain now. I may also turn off the water flow in here for a little bit, just so that we hear less clicking, because I need to redirect that slightly. Which is connected to over here, which is pulling water from, you know, multiple layers. So let's get rid of that. You're late, but you're watching building? Well, hello. Late. I'm blind. I'm playing Dwarf Fortress. We're going to pull this lever and we'll follow that dwarf, who's doing the pulling of the lever. This dwarf wants to be with family and be with friends. I think what I actually need to do is just give these dwarves a proper break. It's very hard. I think this is a common thing in Dwarf Fort, so I'm going to say it. I think it's hard to not overproduce cloth in Dwarf Fort. You know, honestly, Vekaru, that's happened multiple times. Don't worry. That's happened many times. How do you think I became knowledgeable about this game? I played a lot of it and asked a lot of questions. I would be nothing if it wasn't for the Dwarf Fortress community. Like, I'm not above saying that. I think that's just a very realistic statement. So, you know what? Thank you. Thanks for helping educate me in this wondrous video game that we all enjoy. So now this is off and can just flow in that way. And can let this water up here start to slow down in its flow. And this is going to take forever, but it will eventually dissipate. We've sealed off quite a bit of lava in the process. And I'm pretty sure everything on this layer will just not eventually drain, but once I get rid of this connector, it will eventually drain, because it's all just slowly draining out here, very slowly. But it is slowly draining out there, which is, you know, lovely to say. So if I can get this blocked, it will eventually drain. But what are we building? We are draining the lava sea, is what we is building, and I'm gonna do some caving in today. That is the plan. How's your day been today, Trell? How's things? In the lava sea bed, it's just rock. Yeah. The only thing that's interesting in the lava sea, aside from sometimes some more ore veins, is the what's the word? The only interesting thing in the magma sea, aside from sometimes ore veins and ore veins and the occasional gem, is the only interesting thing in the lava sea, aside from sometimes ore veins and gems, is the adamantine spires. Yeah. your daily treadmill steps while finishing dailies and gachas, and watching Twitch. Yeah, that's like me doing lunges back and forth in my apartment. That's going to be another today thing, probably. This dwarf feels happiness remembering a soapy bath. Making cloth cloaks. So these a lot of these dwarves are now getting cloaks, additional cloaks, as well as other fancy little crafts. Let's also make sure that this got satisfied. Oh, 100%. 150% even. Should also make some more bedrooms. I think realistically what we should do is really just give these dwarves a chance to take a break and relax for a little bit, although it looks like taking the military off of training is already helping, because I am noticing a bunch of them going off and socializing and storing their owned items, which is good. They're satisfying some needs, such as this dwarf. Although I am leaving the crossbow dwarves as ready. Why do you have an iron helmet and iron shield? Tisk. Tisk, tisk, tisk. You're happy learning about striking. Bunny is quite well armored here with that horse leather armor. Looking good. And then up here, I'm going to do this. And let's also do wall across here. And remove that. Let's also go up to here and throw some more chains up here, because I have a bunch of gold chains that I never built. Well, finishing... and Krabicus wants me to save the game. Well, we can do that. Although the game's going to save on its own in a minute. So you get to see an extra save now. Courtesy of Krabicus. You have so much wool, it's ridiculous. Yeah. I always end up with like piles and piles and piles of infinite silk. Or what feels like infinite silk, even if it's not actually infinite. You know what's crazy, chat? Twitch just sent me a 10% off coupon for San Diego TwitchCon tickets, which I'm not going to. I'm not going to TwitchCon. You know how much TwitchCon tickets cost this year? A 3-day TwitchCon pass costs more right now than it did for a one-day TwitchCon pass costs more right now than it did for a 3-day pass the first year I went. Also, I'm going to complain about this today. Chat room, I'm a crowdfunded channel, and I have a daily minimum. If I make that daily minimum, it means that I've made minimum wage for where I live if I stream for 8 hours. We are $60 US off of my daily minimum. I like to try and hit it early in the day so I can just not worry about it. But if you happen to have a Prime sub, this is to anybody watching, YouTube as well. If you happen to have a Twitch Prime sub, do think of me, because that's how channels stay funded. Also, welcome back, next. Has a wedding to pay for? I know I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't think Jeff Bezos knows that Twitch exists. I don't think he's that cool. Huntress Zildy, thank you very much for checking out the 5-pack of gift subs. Although he probably knows what... and Libug, thanks for the Prime as well. Although he probably knows what Roblox is, because he probably wants to buy it. Every billionaire would jump at an opportunity to monetize children. And thank you, Vecro, for popping over from the YouTube side of things. Appreciate it. It's certainly, honestly, something, Vecru, that many people could learn to do. So Vecru in YouTube chat says, being open to learning and discovering is part of the fun, honestly, and still learning how to play the game, but learning that people are learning after playing the game for ages is exciting. No, totally, absolutely. I mean, that's why I like this game, is because it keeps on surprising me all this time later. AFDNZ, thank you very much for the 2 gifted subscriptions and the hype train at level 3. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for the support, chat. You don't have to do that, but it means a lot. I only asked for Prime subs. That's the only thing I feel okay asking for. But thank you for the unnecessary extra support. It is greatly appreciated. That's a lot of walls you got, Darius. A lot of bricks. A lot of paywalls. In Twitch, you can set up emotes for people who throw a lot of money at you with bits, or money at you with bits. And a while ago, we thought it would be funny to make paywalls. So you can unlock paywalls if you cheer bits in this chat, because I personally think that that's really funny. You don't bit that much anymore. You certainly did for a while. Although, I'll tell you this. Between right now and 2022, my bits revenue has gone down by about... It's like 70% or something, but gifted subs have gone up by quite a lot. It's like gifted subs have like tripled, but bits have basically tanked. Like, people have stopped using bits, which I think is interesting. I don't know. I think it's because I probably got something to do with the fact that I make like 70% off of subs now. Like, I make the same revenue split as bits. So I'm sure that's got something to do with it. Let's see how this over here is going. Still unfinished. It's going to take a little bit. Bits are irritating to buy? I'm not sure how. Like, bits, you buy a thing... Like, I've always liked bits, specifically for one reason. Because if I buy bits, which generally I don't these days either, now that I think about it, I buy $10 worth, and then I just piecemeal them out to people. It's like a way to throw a dollar at somebody in small amounts. I think gift subs are like the equivalent of, bah, get it over with. The only time I buy bits now is if I want to tip somebody that I know isn't in the Plus program, that I know doesn't get the higher cut. Because then it's an easier way to give them a higher percentage of the money, while still giving them money through Twitch.
Narvicus cheered, X100.
So yeah, I don't know. I like bits for that reason. But I think it's interesting. There's definitely, like, somebody who's thought more about this than me. Not yet. Let's see. Do I have enough obsidian to do this? I do. But I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing by any stretch. It's just an observation that I've noticed over the past few years that I think is interesting. Although that bottom one down here needs to not have those blocks in them. Because these are supposed to be entrances. I don't think that channel points look anything like bits, but okay. Thank you very much for the 9 subscriptions and the $2 in bits. I'll check in on the daily minimum in a little bit. We're probably still have a ways to go, but we'll get there, I'm sure. Thanks for the assistance, chat. Although that should be a lower priority. Rat JPEG in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much for the gifted membership. Also just kind of looking for gold ore. It's been a while since I've gone around and... Somebody's revving his motorcycle outside. Why? It's just motorcycle engine sounds.
Nick Sumia cheered. X400.
The other thing I started working on yesterday is this, which I think at this point should be pretty much good to go. This is connected to a lever, so that part's good to go. This is not connected to a lever. This is. And this is. So I can link one other thing to you. A were-lizard representative Utis Matsuguzuru Utest Kasparo has come. A large lizard twisted into humanoid form. It is crazed for flesh and mostly blood, and its eyes glow green. Its sandy top scales are round and set far apart. You will know why you fear the night. Well, that's not good. Someone else will probably use it more. I mean, doesn't really matter that much with the YouTube memberships, but appreciate it, man. Hi, vey. Oh. I'm gonna send everybody into the oh fuck. And take you off of training. And set them, maybe not all of them. These two can stay on no orders. Same with you, off duty. Have you been bit? Nope. All right, well, a sheep is now fighting, and a very brave dwarf may go in and fight. The bears are now all fighting, which is actually pretty good. They are war grizzlies. But the fact that this is a representative is interesting. Who are you a representative of? So he's a member of the Disloyalty of Charms, and a member of this esteemed denomination, which is a religion. He was the head housekeeper of the Chestnut Coalition. Formerly. He's minus 146 years old. Lovely. And a legendary crossbowman. Drumhells. Huh. Also, Abe Manbagthickosen? That's a funny name. Manbag. Be your nickname if you were in my fort. Well. Good timing game. Thick man bag. Yeah, no. Of something granite? Oh, I missed that. I was scrolling to look for it. You hate when you turn into a were-lizard? I prefer when I turn into a there-lizard, because then at least I'm not lost. You stopped cheering as much when they added channel points? I don't understand the correlation there. Like, that makes 0 sense to me, but, I mean, hey. I'll tell you this. They added channel points about 2 years before that 70% revenue drop happened. So, channel points have been around for a while now, and it was long before bits. Like, my highest bits revenue ever was way before that happened. I really hope these bears just kind of distract it for a while. That's my hope. I've been told that's a racist dog whistle, so thus I can't say it, Cardrin, but I do get the joke. Well, thanks for being around, and Manny, for checking out, for being able to be gifted a subscription, our friend. by our friend Zildy. But the something granite. I'll have to look. Sounds like a human thing. I also need to pause the game like immediately and go check something real quick. My blood sugar's a little high. I need to go give myself a stab. Law horrors. Oh, you're dead. Yep. This woodcutter's been bit. 2 seconds, chat. All right, done. So this dwarf is gonna die, ideally. As far as other things, these bears are doing some damage to it, I hope. Straight, yeah, they're currently the bears, like this grizzly bear charged and then bounced off of the other grizzly bear. This creature right here is getting missed by the grizzly bears a lot. But let's just let some time move forward a little bit. We've got 2 other dwarves that have now moved into the mix. You've missed him twice. You haven't tried yet. Got several other dwarves charging in. Ideally, this dwarf will die. He's unconscious. The noseless Zon, the spinner, who lost their nose in a previous fight, is here as well. And trying. This dwarf misses twice. You miss thrice. Miss twice, shout once. Misses the representative. It's just a lot of missing. I like how... Did you get bit? No, this dwarf just got grabbed by the neck. You're bleeding and unconscious and thirsty. I do hope it just focuses. It seems like all of my livestock is charging this critter. Maybe you're not gonna die, jeez. No, still getting shaken around by the upper body. So he's just like, this dwarf is just in his teeth and he's just getting like just shook back and forth. Like absolutely crazy. Also now we're in an ad break. Has anybody hit you? Well, it's bleeding, so that's a good sign. Bites the peasant in the upper body as well. Not you. You. So this dwarf has been bit. So we've got 2 dwarves that have been bit. I will just give them nicknames so I remember. You've been bit. You've been bit. It is bleeding. There's what looks like an arm on the ground. It's a toe, actually. Jumping back over to you. Shakes bit. Shakes bit. Bites bit. Shakes bit. Shakes bit. Scratches bit. Shakes bit. Okay. They're continuing to punch it. If I go all the way back up to the top, he bit the grizzly bear, bites the stray grizzly bear, bites the ram, kicks the ram, scratches that, bites that, kicks that, bites that. Okay, so got the woodcutter, the dwarf, and we've got Silob, who's also been bit. Let's just open you up right here. Bites the same dwarf. Everybody else appears to be doing some damage. Mostly punching it, though. Surgeon punches it. The guinea hen scratched it. The representative is continuing to bite that one dwarf. Arteries are being shredded. Continues to bite him. Arteries are being shredded. The nanny goat's repeatedly missing. I really hope the nanny goat kills it. Still shaking around that dwarf that was bit. Surgeon punches it. Representative grabs a stray grizzly bear by the teeth. That doesn't seem smart. Grabs him by the teeth with his leg. So chat, the game is claiming that this were-lizard is grabbing the bear with its leg by the teeth. I think that's a very weirdly worded way of saying that the grizzly bear bit its leg, but I mean, it is. It's actually legendary in almost every skill, so this is a particularly scary were creature, actually. The grizzly bear is now biting it, though, in the left leg, tearing the muscle. See, he bit it! He bit it! He bit it! Now we get the correct report here. Sheesh. The goat is still missing, I'll have you know, YouTube chat. So as much as I want the goat to grab its ass. Meanwhile, it grabbed the, now it's grabbing the nanny goat with its lower leg by the right front hoof. And then bites the goat. The craft dwarf punches it. The representative breaks the grip of the weaponsmith's lower arm. Representative grabs the peasant. Representative scratches the peasant. Grabs the spinner. Takes the spinner down. Raises the grip of the representative's right upper leg. Grabs the spinner. Takes the spinner down. Lots of wrestling. It is bleeding heavily, though. It appears that none of the dwarves have actually died. Where's the other dwarf that got bit? I was going to say, did you go into the hospital? We're going to have a little bit of a zoo here in a moment, aren't we? I am going to do something, actually. I'm going to erase most of the hospital, except for these two. I mean, where's the other bit dwarf? It's you. Oh, there you are. Oh, you look like you're dead. That woodworker may survive, though. He's grabbing the ram. Scratches the ram. Bites the ram. Most of the animals are still missing it, but hey, it's something. Grabs the ram again. The goat looks sick. That peasant was found dead. So we did lose that peasant. This dwarf. Rest in peace. Solid attempt was made. Oh, shit. Grabs. Bites the ram in the head. That's fine. Shakes the ram around by the head. Grabs the ram. Bites the ram. Grabs the ram. Bites the ram. Like, you know, sheep? Mutton, I guess. Or is that baby? Is mutton adult sheep? Because I know lamb is baby. So I guess that would be mutton. Anyway. Is now shaking the ram around. The spine in the ram is dead. I mean, broken. Shattered. Crushed. Grabs the spinner. Okay, who's the spinner? Were you bit, spinner? It's you. I don't think you were bit. Grabbed. Hasn't been bit yet, but, you know, has done quite a bit of taking damage. Now you've been bit. Spinner's been bit and is bleeding. If they're bit and it doesn't start them bleeding, Bruce bites them in the lower body. Yeah. If they're not bleeding, then they don't actually, you know, it shakes them around by lower spine, by the lower body, which hurts, like tears the spine, and is biting them on the neck. Well, bit them on the neck, rather. That's pretty brutal. Meanwhile, the representative scratches them in the right eye, tearing apart the eyelid skin. Oh, that's pretty brutal. Bends the spinner. Peasant grabs them. Come on, we've got to be getting through. Bites the peasant. Another peasant? Grabs the spinner. Actually, let's just make sure that that's the right peasant. Yeah, looks like you got thrown too. Tearing the muscle. Motor nerve has been severed. Hurt him. Get out of this squad. Scratches the surgeon. Grabs a spinner. At least the grizzly bears are trying, even though they're missing. Throws the weaponsmith after grabbing the weaponsmith. Grabs, bites the weaponsmith. Where's the weaponsmith? Well, this is pretty brutal. Grabs, bites. Oh boy. Grabs, bends, scratches. Surgeon punches the representative. It's still going, man. This is a pretty brutal one, actually. Grizzly bear bites it. Yay. Representative shakes the furnace operator around. Were you bit? Yes. Oh boy. Yeah, there it is. Shakes the furnace operator around, grabs the furnace operator, bites the furnace operator, tearing the muscle. I really need to set up another, like, keeping an eye out for creatures like this thing. Shakes the furnace operator, shakes the furnace operator, shakes the furnace operator. So many misses. Yeah, this thing is legendary in, like, basically every skill. Bites him again. Chat, can I get a round of beers for good luck for these dwarves? Starting to think we might need it, actually. This might be a pain to deal with. Name the werelizard Dave. It's literally about to die. So I will name it Dave. Yeah. Feels strong urges and seeks short-term rewards, and is extremely confident in himself in situations requiring his skills. I would be too if I was legendary in literally every combat skill. Like, I mean, look at this thing. Shield user, armor user, discipline, observer, dodger, crossbowman, expert wrestler. Also, was that really 16 minutes ago? Oh my god. I super duper just didn't see you did it until just now, but. Grizzly bear bites the representative. Hey, we can make a statue of Dave now. Would you like me to make a gold statue of Dave? Kicks the mechanic in the head, bruising the muscle. Bites the mechanic. This was like the worst possible spot that it could show up. I mean, if I just go here and type in the words bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dave is a representative with 25 notable kills and 134 other kills. Mostly dwarves, goblins, and humans. I was gonna say mostly goblins, but no, dwarves, goblins, and humans. As well as a good number of other things over the years. Started in 727, looks like. Dave also has a very large family. So should I make a squad of Daves? And lock them all in a room together? You know, if they don't all die, maybe. Bites the mechanic. Shakes the mechanic. The mechanic bites the representative. I mean, hey. You gotta represent Dave. Bites the mechanic again. Mechanic struggles in vain. The representative shakes the mechanic around by the lower arm. I've improved my observation. That was satisfying, says the dwarf. Did you get bit? You got scratched. Yeah, you got bit. You're good. You're good. Did you get bit? Grabbed, bent. Okay, you just had your arm broken. You got bit. You got bit. That sheep's in trouble. You got bit. You clearly got bit. You absolutely got bit and are probably gonna die. The representatives. Oh, I was gonna say the representatives of Dave. The reputation. The violet reputation. They'll just call it the reputation. The reputation of Dave. Could be fun. The Lizard Lounge. Lizard Lounge and the Lot Lizards. Well, we've already lost 3. So. That was pretty fucking bad. They also killed it before it transformed, which is impressive. Just trying to get them all into that one corner right there. So chat, what should I do with these were-lizards? That's the question. What should we do with these were-lizards? This shouldn't be a part of that. There you go, you get moved. A lot of surgeries happening. Also, when is the next full moon? We're on the 3rd of Granite right now. Could somebody please look that up? Guardians of the Lava Library. Guardians of the Library, hey? Did you also get bit or no? Yeah, no, you just had your shit kicked in. Well, hopefully Vakar gets out of there. Lizard Barians? Okay, so here's an idea. Although this is a terrible idea. I make an additional tower layer on top. 2 additional tower layers on top. Or maybe just a layer up here. Remove access to the lower layers completely. And then lock them all in there. That could be an idea. I do hope that they all just stay in there, though. Okay, we got some blocks being placed. Thieves protect the horde from stinking filth. Well, the other thing I gotta do is I gotta jump down to, not there, that's too far down. Yeah, here. I think it's right there, yeah. It's in here. Let me just go up to here and go, why don't I have more coffins? Rock coffin. Let's make 20 of them. Make them out of diorite. Okay, so I need to send them somewhere where I can lock them, where they can't get out. Why don't I send them down here? And let's just hope that we got them all. Otherwise, we may have a problem. 25th sounds right. It is on the wiki. If you go to the wiki and type in calendar, you can look it up. I could go look it up if you guys want, but if one of you could look it up, that would be awesome. That's 2. There's 3 more in here. What are we looking up? The next full moon. We're currently in the month of Granite. Because I've got 5-bit dwarves that all got bit by a were creature. Make them right. Drop paper in as needed. I mean, yeah. Drop paper in as needed always sounds way easier than it is. I'm thinking right now, let's give them... I like the idea of like the protectors of the library. Actually, here's a fun idea. Because I want to move the fort underground, I could theoretically let them take over the surface eventually. That could be a fun idea. Like, let them run the castle up top. And send everybody else underground eventually. What do you still need for wounds? What do you need for treatment? No treatment scheduled. Okay, you're gonna go pick up equipment. If they're a dwarf, yes. The actual issue is I had another were creature who was in my fort previously. And when they would decide to attend a meeting, I would run into problems. Because when they would attend a meeting, my manager would just like have a conniption fit and be unable to like attend to that meeting. That was the biggest issue. So they are a huge management crisis, basically. This is one of those things where it's like having vampires in your fort. I don't like doing this. But it's also one of those things where chat always asks me to do it when I have the opportunity. So, thus, I will be a good sport, as they say, and work with you guys to a degree. Infect the mayor, not the manager, the mayor. Easy. You make a office that has space for them to be able to go into the office without actually standing next to them, i.e. fortifications and or bars or windows or something. So no, that is not actually the correct way to go about it. And that's very much a wrong way to go about it. You could go about it that way. I wouldn't recommend it though. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is you. Who am I missing? Zan, Rigath, Erdim, Kubak. So it's Zan E that we're still waiting on. Also, you know what usually happens when you try to infect a dwarf with Warism? They die. And you don't actually infect them. That's usually what happens. What happens if a mood coincides with a full moon? Fuck if I know. I think I'd be willing to bet they would just continue with the mood. Some dorks of vile dorkness have arrived. Let's just make sure that this area here is still all in the borough. It is. Yeah, death happens swiftly, it turns out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, we'll see. I'll do what I can with them within reason. Also check the daily minimum, see where we're at. I'm still $30 away from the daily minimum. But we're getting there. We're getting there. There's more hope now. Also, thanks to the 170 of you watching here on Twitch, and also the 65 of you watching on YouTube. Don't forget, YouTube folks, if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. It's very important. It makes the YouTube machine go burr. So do please very much, thank you. Leave a like on the stream. Humble request from me to you. And if you're watching on Twitch, I don't know. Thanks. Heart. I think I'm gonna just actually leave this burrow on for a little bit. And then these guys down here will get training. Oh, that's a meeting area, not a training zone. We'll just let them train and see how terrible this goes. At least one of them actually seems to want martial training. Does interaction and people chatting help the algorithm? I presume that everything does, Vekru. Here's the thing. I don't do what YouTube wants me to do. YouTube wants me to make content that gets clicks and drums up people yelling. I don't do that. So every now and again, I accidentally release a video that YouTube decides is cool and they should promote. But generally, I make stuff that I want to make, which is the opposite of what YouTube wants me to do. YouTube wants me to make things YouTube wants. So yes, you typing in the chat helps the algorithm. Having a goal helps the algorithm. Specifically, actually, having a goal that people complete helps the algorithm. streaming in a way that YouTube finds satisfactory to YouTube helps the algorithm. I am not really brand friendly or algorithm friendly generally. Every now and again, I accidentally do something that's algorithm friendly, but usually no. So I don't really care. Me paying my bills is more important than the algorithm, is what I care about. So if you think that you can do something that'll help the algorithm, do it. I don't know how this shit works. I just know that there is a statistical stat that if you have an active goal, YouTube promotes your streams slightly more. That dwarf's been dead for a minute. Bike and subscribe, indeed. Or rather, bike and don't drive. What? Sorry, wrong slogan. My apologies. Just clean up your poop emoji after you're done with it, yeah, Chris? And no poop emoji on the carpet. That's a bad time. Nobody likes that. How are the really, truly pissed off dwarves now? Just giving these lowest happiness level dwarfs a break. And also, this squad, I'm going to put them on monthly orders. And then go down into here. And up here, I'm just going to give them a meeting zone. And this meeting zone is just going to be a... I think it's the Beach of Oak is the Anything Goes Temple. Yeah, no particular deity. So they can go up there if they want. When they're done training. And we'll find out if I fucked up and if there's more of them. That's what we're going to find out in a second. I wouldn't be too surprised if I did, and there is. But hopefully I didn't, and there isn't. I'm also going to dig into here real quick, and we're going to chop down all these. Because that just seems like a useful thing to grab. And I'm going to go down to here. And just check, is this in the burrow? It is not. And I'm going to go over here, and we're going to start flooring this off. Just with Gabbro, nothing fancy. And this is going to be another extension on my tomb. Because I really like tombs in old mine shafts. I think that those always look cool. All right. As long as you wash your hands, I won't rub your nose in it, Chris. Yeah, I don't know. I abide by the algorithm out of necessity, not because it's something that I generally enjoy doing. So, for whatever that's worth. And a lot of my discussions of the algorithm are based on things that I've read, and who knows how accurate they even are. A forgotten beast, Meli Nakalotofi, has come. A towering elk twisted into humanoid form. It has lidless eyes and it is slavering. Its cardinal hair is long and straight. Beware its poison vapors. That doesn't look anything like an elk. Owl crevice? I prefer the term owl nook, thank you very much. It's not in an area where it can really fight me particularly easy, so I'm not super worried about it. Also going to pull this lever and cut these down eventually. I'm not going to lie. Keeping these dwarves in here is actually keeping them quite a bit happier. Yes, Fluffy Wambler, I agree. We should post beers. Also, just as a reminder about algorithms, Twitch doesn't really have recommendation algorithms in the traditional way that YouTube does. What's most important for me, just in general, in any chat room, is just chat activity, regardless of if it helps me algorithmically. And the reason for that is, believe it or not, my favorite part of this job isn't playing video games. It's talking with chat. And because of the style of stream that I've done over the years and the community that I've cultivated, it's actually quite difficult for me a lot of the time to keep chat moving. Chat gets quite quiet. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that there are times where chat gets quiet. And so the best way for you to help me, assuming you want to help me, is just to chat. Periodically. Doesn't need to be constant. Especially in the summer. In the winter, I don't have this problem as much because the chat gets a lot busier. Because in the winter, the majority of my audience is at home and able to watch more consistently. And it seems like that Forgotten Beast that just arrived is now dead because Confessed Knights killed it, which is a gigantic quadruped composed of crystal glass, which, like I've said earlier, lives in this cavern and can just keep it forever. In fact, it kicked it in the head, which destroyed its brain. How many other things have you killed? 2 Forgotten Beasts and a bunch of random critters. So, yeah, no. Genuinely, just like, regardless of if it helps the algorithm specifically, chat activity is the easiest way to help me. Just because it helps me mentally. That's quite the task. Best of luck on building your porch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. So this dwarf didn't actually get turned. And all of these dwarves are actively training, I think. So they haven't attacked this dwarf yet. So either this surgeon's about to get ripped into a billion shreds, and because they're all training, they're still in the training task. And they're not going to go berserk and murder him until training task finishes. So hopefully they stop being were creatures before the task finishes. Just hold. Keep
Cheers people with beer.
wrestling.
Crypt beer.
Keep training. Do not the lizard man. Nope, because they're all doing it. He survived. Okay, so this dwarf, which is Rigoth, didn't in fact get bit. So I'm going to stealthily remove Rigoth from this squad, while the rest all remain training. I'm going to remove Bit from your name. You did get bit, but I guess it didn't break skin. I'm going to open this up. No, you don't. Okay. Let's try opening this again. Come on, you. Okay, well, I'm just going to presume that you're going to go get clothes. You leave. Where are you going? Probably picking up that meal, right? Same with you. Oh, I see where they're going. Let's get rid of that. So it's Zon, Erdem, it's other Zon. Where did other Zon go? It's this dwarf. You're attending a meeting. Of course you are. Slate 23, thank you. No, 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 no. You're gonna go train. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what I need to do with this squad is I need to basically build a way for them to get up into this manager's office. Or I need to move my mayor's office. I think I'm going to move my mayor's office. Let's move Lanix's office to, like, right here. As well as most of the furniture. That's what I need to do. And then... oh boy. I need to go down here. And this is actually going to be my manager's office. Or my mayor's office. Chat, why am I making me do this? I could just, you know, expel them. That would be the easy way to do this. I could just expel the dwarves and just not fucking worry about it. Why am I doing this? I'm also not gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. Why am I making me do this? Can someone please explain to me why I'm doing this? I don't need to do this. Productive? You mean they can make my life unhappy and tedious? That's what they can do. And also, happy is very much a relative statement in this situation. I think we have very different definitions of happy. They can have continued existence, asterisk. Oh, trust me, we've got plenty of lava I could introduce them to. Hi-ho, hi-ho. It's off the dig we go. It's off the dig we go. Why do they have to be metal barrels? I don't agree that there's anything productive about these dwarves, but for chat's amusement, I will suffer and be annoyed with managing these creatures. How's that sound, chat? Do you guys appreciate me providing you with this additional unnecessary amusement for my own purpose of suffering? If you appreciate this, then we'll go through with it. If you don't, then I'm going to just simply reconsider my life choices. Also, is that a statue of a fly? That's kind of funny. Surgeon's been found dead. What? Ah. So I just had a doctor tantrum quite a lot. So I would presume my captain of the guard is now going to go kick their shit in. I'd presume. Nope, you're going to go prepare a lavish meal. As the doctor is actually still getting beaten, in fact, and has committed more crimes. Justice, open cases. Whoa! I haven't heard that song in forever. Where are they dancing? Wow. Haven't seen that in a while. Hey, chat, can I get some dancing emotes? We need an excuse to party. What's the issue? We have 4 were-lizards in the, not the basement, but like the middle levels. Riley says, oh, hello, how are yous? Today's good day. But why am I doing this? I'm asking, is it going to stop suddenly in the middle? And then also a dwarf tantrum and kill somebody. That's the problem. Hey chat, somebody help out Salty with a subscription. If anybody's feeling generous and wants to help me hit that daily minimum. It does sometimes jump scare me too, Rock Sauce, don't worry. I mean, the dwarves would have to elect one of the mayor to make them into the government, you know? Also, Swedish EOD, I totally missed this, but thank you very much for that resub for 28 months. I was very much building a thing and not looking at chat at the moment when that happened, so thank you. Anonymous, thanks for gifting a sub to Salty. Welcome back, Salty. Now you have better dance emotes. You can wamble with the rest of us. Because every day I'm wambling. You know, you don't have to simulate it. You could just go play it. I think somebody's coming to grab this and play an instrument. You guys want to see a dwarf playing an instrument? I do. So I'm going to stare at this until a dwarf shows up and plays it. Shap9, thanks for the Prime sub for a 4th month. Not the one that's on the ground, oddly enough, just this one. Did Salty get double tapped? Salty got gifted a sub. That's what happened. And then Shap9 resubbed. For all the bed dancers and headbangers out there. Damn right. Curious, are they actually going to show up here and grab that? No? No? No, that's a shame. It looks like somebody's coming to get it. But instead, I'm going to go grab this, Say, I've got 4. Let's just make it a red staircase. I'm going to smooth all of this. I'm going to put a meeting area over here. And it's going to be the first, the Beach of Oak, so that they can, in between training, could go do that if they wanted. A weaponsmith has been possessed. We'll just let them smooth that so that they have a task to do. Is it possible to get double tapped? I mean, if you go to gift somebody else a sub and check, I think that tick stays ticked. Otherwise, it should automatically refund you. Because I had that. I managed to sub to somebody twice once, and it did refund me like the next day automatically. But do let me know what happens with that, because that seems not great. Suboptimal, I could say. I'm also going to enable other tasks, let the dwarves go about their day. It was processing the charges the anon landed. Well, let me know if it goes out of your account. If it does, it's not too hard to refund that. Or I could just send you $5 or whatever the current equivalent is via PayPal. I actually don't care that much about doing that. Just trying to make this office look nice. All of a sudden, this is going to take a bit longer to build because I'm now extending the speed at which it's going to work. So let's see where this is. At over here. See, this is now draining because all of this is draining. It's not going to drain down to here, but it is draining quite a bit, which is nice. All right, so up to here. Pretty far from done. So where are they at digging right now? They going up? Yeah, they are. I just say $5 because it costs something different in literally every region. It's $7.49 in Canada. So for me, that's just kind of shorthand for literally whatever region you're in. Whatever the amount is, I'll refund it if Twitch is weird about it. So I don't actually care about keeping track of how much it costs in every region because it costs something different everywhere else. I think that that's fair, personally. And if you don't, well, eat my butt. Or don't. Actually, I kind of prefer you didn't, because I don't even know you. That'd be weird. All right. Let's see where we're headed. Apparently I struck rock crystal. Zuglar's claimed a magma forge and wants what? You have copper bars, persimmon logs, you have dog leather, you want bones. Of course it's bones. It's always bones. I've got a dwarf to memorialize, and there's so many goddamn pet animals in this fort, I swear. Let's go see. Can I memorialize dwarf? Yes, I probably can. 2, 3, 4. Except there's a tube wall up there. Presuming it's... Could be that one. I'll just make one for that one. But yeah, I will forever refer to Twitch subs being $5 because... You remember that day that the lady was like yelling really loudly on her stream that you could subscribe and it's only $5, and if you can't afford $5 then you're poor and everybody can afford $5, it's only $5? That lady? Well, if you remember that lady, like I do, then you'll be in a similar position to me where it's just kind of funny to refer to it as $5. It reminds me of simpler times from long past.
Kilo Cryptlick.
Laya, thanks for the 23rd month. Appreciate you, friend. On Twitch? No, you can't. The Twitch user has zero... Like, the Twitch streamer has zero control over how much their subs cost. That is a made-up untruth. Which is a... You know. So clearly you've never checked. The past was the worst? I don't know. Mocking the past is funny, is my hashtag, so... If I'm more or less valuable than you eating at Taco Bell, then be my guest. Moreb the Milker has been found dead. Apparently was stuck outside of the fort somehow. I should really just kill this enemy army, is what I should do. Not these guys, though. You guys can just stay up there. Did I get the instrument bug? Instruments work. They were playing them earlier. There's just a lot of tasks for these dwarves to do. So I don't know what bug you're talking about. As I've said a billion times, if you're going to ask me if I've got insert bug that I've never heard of, please at least specify what the bug does, because odds are pretty good I haven't heard of it, and also don't have it. So I have no idea what bug you're referring to, YouTube chat. That's only a thing that happens on YouTube, which is another one of the many, many, many reasons why I prioritize the Twitch chat generally, Vecru. And you literally can't do that on Twitch. You will get banned from the platform if you do that. Exploiting currency differences. YouTube encourages it because they don't care. They just want your money. Was a jerk of incoherent proportions? Oh, yeah, no, I banned you a couple of times. I know. So was I, though. Don't worry. But learning to laugh at your past self is one of the greatest strengths that you can have as a human being. Because were you a joke of unknown proportions? Most certainly. But can you do better now? And mock yourself for it? Yeah, and that's probably healthy. Bunny has been found dead. Well, shit. And here I was hoping that my dwarves would just fight through that more successfully. Hiya. least the enemy siege is gone. What happened to Bunny? Seemed to do... Got stabbed in the right hand? Oh, I see. Took a bunch of really bad arrows to the upper body and then proceeded to fight right until the last second. Well, at least you died valiantly, Dwarf. At least you died valiantly. Yeah, exactly. Like, live better than you did previously and live your best life, I suppose. Although in here, let's remove this. Let's get these dwarves out of here. I'm just going to close this and open the top door. So this door I can open. Oopsies. This door right here I can close. Talon, thank you very much for the raid. Chat, can I get a round of beers for the raiders? Welcome, raiders. 'Tis good to see you. Hope you've been well. I hope your stream was good. You've been ambushed? Apparently. We should batten down the hatches and grab the beers. Quick, get them drunk. Then they'll be friendly. At least that's what the bartender tells me when rowdies come in. How goes the reading? 6 more days until your book comes out. Is this a digital release or a physical release? I'm gonna leave the game paused until the ads are done. Well, cheers. That's exciting. That's exciting, dude. And where might somebody be able to purchase this book when it releases in 6 days? Bug where handheld instrument remains claimed for a task forever and nobody can pick it up. So, like, the way instruments work, if they're in a, like, temple or in a... the way a handheld instrument works, if they're in a temple or in a... what's it called? A guild hall, as I understand it. I could be wrong. Is... somebody needs to be assigned to that temple and or location as a performer. If they're assigned to that location as a performer, they will grab the handheld instrument and hand it to somebody. If they're not, if there isn't anybody or there is no priest assigned to it, then yes, it will sit there forever, just claimed as a task, because the game will flag it to be used, and then it'll disappear occasionally when there's like nothing happening in that temple. I don't know if that's really a bug, but... Link to Amazon is forthcoming because Amazon. Well, I trust you'll post it in the Discord when it's out, right? I also need to make a new captain of the guard. Patty Whack is now the captain of the guard. I just really like these, so I'm going to move these underground. But yeah, if that is considered a bug, that's news to me, but I've never really thought of it as one. I guess I could see why people would consider it one, though. Clear glass throne. Hematite table. Let's just do table, table. Throne. Throne. Do I have any standing instruments? No, I don't. Statue? Yes. Let's do chest. Chest. Let's do cabinet. Cabinet. Let's do... why not? I'll put 2 of these in because they're useful. It's kind of funny how they're trying to climb out. Or this one was, briefly. Now, because you can attend a meeting... and the mayor's sleeping, I have to find out if this meeting is actually going to get conducted. Okay, so you're going to go conduct a meeting. Let's see if this works. I also need to move their bed. You go to your old location, which is where that meeting was queued up for. Store owned item. Uh-huh. You can offer 7 discounts per year. Yes. Jesse Cox has a contract that Twitch got rid of in, like, before they got bought by Amazon era. Like, Jesse Cox has a contract that's so old, it literally predates Twitch being bought by Amazon. So Jesse Cox's situation is not even remotely relevant to the rest of Twitch. You can do a 35% discount up to 7 times per year for a maximum of 72 hours, which is brand new. Correct. The cut comes out both from the streamer's cut and Amazon's cut, so it's like split, right? So in exchange for less money, you could do a discount, which I will do those occasionally. That is not defining the price. Not even remotely close to defining the price. So, no, not even remotely close. Sorry. Unfortunately. It would be cool if we could. But no. On YouTube, you can. I just need to, well, I feel the need to, is more what I should say, clarify. Because if I don't, then, I don't know. I feel the need to clarify because that is a very not correct thing to say. So, well, it's not that it's not correct. It's just, that's not the right information. Which I guess is the definition of not correct, right? Can you conduct a meeting with this were creature? Starting to think the answer is no. Mate, it happened in 2014. Rylais. It happened in 2014. As a reminder, that was 11 years ago. So, yes. You're old. I hate to break it to you. Sorry for the unfortunate announcement, but also, I feel the need to say this. Amazon buying Twitch was the best thing to happen to Twitch. Where did the life go? Where did anything go? I mean, really. This is attempt B to try and make a space for these were creatures to meet with the mayor. Can't have been a 6th grader ago? Bet. Give you a combat dwarf? You're very stressed and hate your life, but he's in a constant state of internal rage after experiencing trauma and is often sad and dejected. He relies on the advice of others during decision making, and he is very comfortable with others that have that are different from himself. He has an overinflated sense of self-worth, and he has an overinflated sense of self-worth, and he feels best when everyone gets along without any strife or contention. He tends to consider what others think of him, and he has a sense of duty. He doesn't try to get things done perfectly, and he tends to form negative views about things. He likes to brawl, and he cares little about, and he has little interest in joking around. Dreams of creating a great work of art. And he worships Avuz, and likes lead, almandine, crystal glass, peach-faced lovebird, tooth, greaves, and hatch covers, as well as peregrine falcon men for their ability to dive through the air. And the sound of the cobalt boulders and the sight of the diamond mines, and when possible, he prefers to consume cow cheese and strawberry wine, and hates slugs. Welcome to the fort. Hopefully this one sticks around, hopefully. I mean, I'm not going to say that expiry is written into your name, but it's kind of written into your name, dude. You know what I don't miss, Realize? Every streamer that wasn't partnered had a 2-minute delay. You know what I don't miss? Twitch having, like, virtually no moderation outside of, like, you know, individual chat moderation. You know what I don't miss? Most of what Twitch was back then. I feel like when people say that they miss things from, you know, back then on Twitch, it's either they didn't stream, or back then, which is fair. Or for some reason, they seem to think that Twitch, when it was independent, was better. Not really. It was kind of just worse in almost every way. I think that there is such a thing called nostalgia, and I think that it's very legitimate. However, I do think that a lot of that nostalgia is, like, misplaced and misguided at this point. Okay, so where are we? That needs to be a Grand Guild Hall. I can do that. Let's just let this get done. And as I was talking about on my second channel, on the stream I did on Sunday, which is my bots account, which you could go follow if you want. I'll say this. I get a little touchy when people go on about things that were better about Twitch back then. Because similarly to how I feel about Dwarf Fortress currently in version 50, the benefits and improvements that we've had to the platform hugely outweigh the issues. And while Twitch has focused on some things that make me squint a little bit over the past couple of years, specifically things like guest star, which is largely a pointless feature as far as I'm concerned, Twitch is one of the few platforms that I've worked on in my time doing this, where I don't feel like the majority of what they do is a waste of time. And so I get a little bit touchy when I see people being like, oh, Twitch was better back in the day, or I missed this about Twitch from back in the day. It's like, there is almost nothing I miss about Twitch from the old days. It is... YouTube, I can point at a lot of things where I'm like, this is worse, this is worse, this is worse, this is worse, this is worse. The truly great thing about Twitch is that it's actually kind of hard for me to point at things where I'm like, this is abjectly worse. And I'm sure you can. And this is where I end this discussion. Because I don't care. Unless this is your full-time job, I kind of really don't care about whether or not you preferred Twitch back in the day or not. That's kind of it. So. Because from my perspective, Twitch has improved a shit ton in the last decade. And I hope it continues to do so. That's all. I'm not salty on your conversation. At all. This is just my job. And I don't like seeing people being nihilists about the future of my job. For one specific reason. It stresses me the fuck out. I think anybody who's, like, been in a position where things are shaky or unstable at work can probably relate. That's all. Really? I mean, when did you make your account, Ice Blue? You made your account in 2016. You've been around a while. So your biggest issue with Twitch are communities that have very little effect on other communities on Twitch that you don't need to interact with if you don't want to. And drama farming. Have you heard of this platform called YouTube, Vekaru? Have you seen the shit that exists on YouTube? Your biggest issue with Twitch is you are easily convinced by drama farmers and people who like to yell. Okay, so the people that they're yelling about only get bigger when you yell about them. Yeah, that's fair. Nice, Blue. You feel old now? Yeah. Also, if anybody's wondering what I was responding to was Vekaru in YouTube chat saying, my biggest issue with Twitch has always been moderation being uneven at one point. It's because Twitch is a very tight-knit platform with communities where largely people know each other. And, like, there is no platform less uneven or more uneven in its moderation than YouTube. It's just YouTube is so fucking gigantic that it's hard to make convincing drama-fueled screaming content out of it. So it doesn't surface as often. That's all, really. But at the end of the day, this is the reason I don't like there's very few topics that I've just kind of put my foot down and say I don't want to talk about it. But this is one of those topics where it's just like, I hate this platform for this reason, because all it does is it turns the YouTube chat on the Twitch chat and the Twitch chat on the YouTube chat, and it just makes me grumpy and it stresses me the hell out. It makes me want to turn my stream off for the rest of the day. So yeah. But you guys are perpetuating it, so I will just play Dwarfs. Let me know when you guys are done discussing Twitch and YouTube. Thanks. I'm building doors for these bedrooms. I'll throw some beds in. Try and get more of these assigned. I know I lost some more dwarves and I've got to unassign those. One thing at a time. I've also got to get that pillar done. When that pillar's done and the lever's done, which actually it might be because I don't see it on the list, I then need to assign that and go strange mood and see where you're at. Oh. What? Huh? Ha. Okay. I'm confused. That doesn't seem right. Basically, this is a conversation that stresses me out beyond all reason, Brian. And I'm trying to shut it down and change the subject. That's all. I've seen this conversation, like, collapse into arguments more than once. Support creators, not platforms. And debating which platform is better or discussing issues with platforms. Just don't stream on Kick. That's all I really have to say. Think how this dwarf feels? Oh, damn right. Damn right. So chat, what's something that's pleasant to talk about? I have no idea how this dwarf got up here. I'm completely at a loss. The highest value artifact. I don't think I could make them as high value as they used to be, because in version 47 they used to be higher value. The highest value artifact I ever made was a adamantine corkscrew. It was like 14 million or something. But they changed how the math works a couple versions ago, so you can't... What? Okay. It's your birthday. Happy birthday! Jack, can I get a round of birthdays? What games am I nostalgic for? Doom the roguelike? It's a game I'm nostalgic for. I don't know, Super Mario World? I'm nostalgic for SSX Tricky. Is a game that I am nostalgic for. Oh. Ah, so they just continue the meeting after the fact. This right here can be a dining hall. I will give this dining hall to the mayor as well. And then I need an armor rack and a weapon stand. Yes, those words. In that order. Weapon rack. 2 of them. And armor stand. Then this right here can dig down into here. That's not the button I wanted. That's the button I wanted. After I deconstruct that. Ryan, since I mentioned SSX Tricky, I just have to say, look up Tricky Madness on Steam. I may be number 3 in the world for one of the 3. It's literally the only game I play off stream, actually. I am number 3 in the world right now on the first track in that game. Not that there's more than a dozen of us really competing, but, I mean, hey. Social media and smartphones. You do realize I didn't get my first phone. Not even smartphone. Phone. I got to borrow my mom's cell phone when I went out by myself, but I got my first phone in 2011. So I very much remember life before smartphones, mate. So don't you be all sassy saying that you're a decade older than Blind. Blind didn't get a phone until 2011. A phone. I also didn't have like 24/7 access to the internet until like 2008. So trust me, I remember life before the internet. I was on dial-up until I moved out. I say that I was on dial-up until I moved out because our high-speed internet was slower than our dial-up. So yeah, I was on dial-up until I moved out. I got my first phone in 2011. I'm working on a waterfall tavern right now. I have a really cool water that splits into 2 rivers. So that's cool. You could also use that for power. Joshua Jane, either above or below. You can even make it self-powering and power itself. As long as the water doesn't spill over anywhere and evaporate. Where is my metalsmith guild? That is the current question. Copper, there's religion stuff. That's the tavern, obviously. Library. Metalsmith guild. Just need to increase the value of this ever so slightly. And chat, thank you very much for honoring my request of changing the subject. Appreciate you guys. Another thing that I will remind everybody is if you live in Europe, first off, lucky you. Second, please go sign Ross's European Stop Killing Games initiative petition, please. That's, of course, if you haven't yet, obviously. I talked about it a bit like a year ago. But if you haven't yet, please go sign it. If you need a link, let me know. God is taught, otherwise chat can do it. Thank you very much for the 30 months. It's good to see you. Our first mobile phone camera. I will say my first mobile phone had the worst port of Street Fighter I've seen in my life. Because they made a Street Fighter for flip phones. I'm gonna chuck a link into the chats for this. Ah, shut up, Ross. I mean, you can keep talking, Ross, but like, please don't say hello really loudly in my ears. Nice. It's called Steam local in-house streaming with him on, and just stream it to your phone because it's never gonna happen. It's literally never gonna happen. People complain about how long it takes for Dwarf Fortress to develop already. Imagine if they had to rewrite the entire game to be compatible with Android. Actually, I don't want to, because that would be a very long time. That would take longer than I'm willing to wait. And I'm willing to wait for a lot of things for Dwarf Fort. Many things for Dwarf Fort, but maybe not that. You collect pennies. Oh, really? I'm really kind of sad that I never developed a collecting hobby like that. I collected stamps when I was younger, and then kind of stopped at a point. I mean, I think that there's this thing from like Gen X and like early millennials where they get kind of elitist about, oh, I remember what life was like before phones. I also remember what life was like before phones. And what life was like in early phones. My dad had a fucking Palm Pilot. Like, I remember what life was like before phones. Mostly just because I'm, I guess, part of the last generation that really remembers what life was like before phones. And, like, growing up, we didn't have a TV in my house. We had a television set with a VHS player, and we were allowed to watch one movie per week. But we didn't have any TV in the house, ever. I've never lived in a house with cable. You collected coins with your stepdad, but your stepdad took your money, so you learned to not collect anything of value. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, if you just smooth and fortify or like build a fortification wall between the dwarves and the falling water, you can very easily make waterfall additions to your fort. You could have pets or you could have cable. It seems like a weird deal. I don't know. Those two things don't really equate to one another, but I guess your types of pets are closer to hobbies, Elfie. How what? That isn't right, taking things from kids. I mean, many parents do things that aren't right. Just never stop them. In fact, I would go so far to say that humans often do things that aren't right. Let's keep working on this. I'm not even positive this is going to work. But we'll see. Was going to the flea market and finding a dealer who would drive to and from Germany and burn movies onto CDs or cassettes, buy it and play it at home. That era of piracy is fascinating to me. It's like piracy due to like lack of product availability. It's like the fact that CD Projekt Red exists as a company because they started off by just porting and reselling games that they didn't have the rights to port and resell. It's kind of fascinating, actually. It's been a long time since I've had waterfall features in a fort. Brian. And Josh. just because the two of you are talking about it. That era's kind of coming back. Yeah. Did it ever really leave? Is, I guess, my question. Because I guess I'm not positive it didn't. I like the boulders falling from the dwarf above him, doing the same task. You had a really funny version of the Star Wars prequel, you don't remember which, where everything was normal, but when you turned on subtitles, it was just a constant stream of cussing. Not the name of the guy who, like, reproduced it? That's kind of what I would, like, skinned oil? Okay, that's a grim name. Dastot skinned oil. 92 years old, hey? Your kindred spirit is dead. That's grim. Your experienced trauma and mulling over the reoccurring memory allowed you to rethink her intellectual values and changed her personal tendencies. She became less angry and learned to value peace. There you go, dwarf. What a way to live through that. You know, oddly enough, Netflix has become particularly trash, but I don't know if this is a normal opinion, but I feel like now Apple TV is just kind of pretty decent, or is better than it has any right to be, I suppose. Still not great or perfect, but and also the closest thing I ever experienced to that Tiny Hippo was with anime, where people would do like bad community subtitles for anime. Like I've definitely seen a number of imported shows and stuff where it's just like half of the story is just wrong. Because like they just didn't quite speak well enough to be able to do that. Certainly in some regions though, like fan dubs and fan subs are still very much a thing. Just highly depends on where you are. Okay, so all the way up. That is done. We are now pretty much good to go. You read One Piece with fan. Well, I'm more talking about like TV, but yes, sure. For comics, that still definitely happens because that's so fast and easy to do, right? Actually, I'm just gonna erase that one because it doesn't matter so much. And I don't want people to get stuck up top. By people, I mean dwarfs. Uh-oh. Well, that dwarf just fell all the way down there and didn't die, but didn't even get an injury. That's kind of impressive, actually. Upper leg takes the full force of the impact. The trousers just like ate the drop. Well, good on you. That was, wait, was that an injury? You seem fine. Oh, his heart is bruised. That's sad. It's always funny when it reads, his heart is broken. It's like, creature after my own life. He put on his trauma pants, that's for sure. A human caravan has arrived. All right. Let's just double check. That's literally the last thing that needs to get done, and then we can just pull this lever. He just like me for real? Totally, yes. Very much so. Not even AI has managed to thwart the weebs. Well, they need... I feel like if there's any community that should be pushing back against that shit, it's weebs, because... You don't want your, you know, handmade shows. Whoa! Wow. Okay, so this dwarf somehow managed to get stuck on a wall and then fell off of said wall. Went splat, has a mangled ankle, is making this artifact out of bars, persimmon wood logs, stray alpaca bone, dog leather, spider silk, rough yellow zircons, alpaca leather, and that. Chat, this dwarf needs a nickname, I think. I don't know. I just, if you guys think of something, let me know. But they're called Artifact Pain right now, because that's like, walk it off. Grave robber. Keeps muttering. Well, good luck, dwarf. Make us something cool. Just a flesh wound. I mean, it's not a corpse. Those are bones. They are just bones. But like, and makes a crossbow out of it. Artifact Pain, the weaponsmith, has created Estabobrur, a copper crossbow, and offers it to the enjoyable knowledge. It's not quite grand yet. Estabobrur. This is a copper crossbow, while craft store ship is of the highest quality. That dwarf is injured. It is encrusted with yellow zircons and decorated with persimmon wood and encircled with bands of copper. This object is adorned with hanging rings of alpaca leather and menaces with spikes of dog leather. And Adolf Fabens's soldier bone. On the item is an image of a cubic cube and alpaca bone. On the item is an image of Fancy Stalked, the jailer of deserts, the fungi wood Bagud. I love that instrument name, Bagud, in Cave Spider Silk. Also, what does that name translate to? Join Mother. Pain Mother. I don't know. That's what I came up with. And this dwarf can't walk, so Paddywhack is coming to recover the wounded. Like, that is brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Also, speaking of brutal, Do I have any woodcutters? I don't. That makes a lot of sense, actually. What a wound. Because this dwarf fell off of my wall, right? The craziest thing is somehow this dwarf got on top of my wall mid-mood and then climbed back down. And I genuinely have no idea how that happened or how they made it back down. Like, I am completely at a loss. I have no idea. He had a compound fracture in his ankle. Beardless dwarf shall be yo's. Weaponsmith, butcher, or soap maker. The enjoyable knowledge is the name of the group, Krabicus. Laya, glaze cloaks. You like to glaze cloaks, I suppose. Is prone to strong feelings of jealousy, does not easily fall in love, and rarely develops positive feelings. Sometimes acts with little determination and confidence, and doesn't cling tightly to ideas as open to changing her mind, and prefers that everyone lives as harmoniously as possible. Often is cheerful, and occasionally can lose focus on the matter at hand, and can handle stress. Isn't particularly ambitious, and repeatedly snaps her fingers when she's trying to remember something. Needs alcohol to get through the working day, and does not mind being outdoors at least for a time. Doesn't care about much ever, really, anymore. Personally finds the idea of fair dealing and foolish, and cheats whenever she finds it profitable, and doesn't feel strongly about the law. She's a member of the Bronze Sect, and is blissful remembering dining in a legendary dining room. Ah, right. Laya, gotcha. You have no family. You worship the god of minerals and gems. And mines, basically. So ore and such. You do have a bedroom. And, welcome to the fort. You can handle stress. You'll do okay here. It's the cheating whenever she finds a profitable part that I always find fun. Speaking of finding things fun. Who's ready to see a cave in chat? For those of you in the Twitch chat, could I get a round of lava? Because I don't know if this is going to work. I'm actually genuinely not positive this is going to work. So we're gonna find out in a moment, friends. When Lanix the mayor does the honor. I have a lava emote for subscribers. VittyFKT. Same with YouTube chat. I don't know. You can just hit the party button because that works. An Einod, the Sacred Diamond, has been elected mayor. We have a new mayor? Wow. That doesn't happen very often. We got a new mayor elected and the old one didn't die. Who stole your job? Einod. Stole your job, it appears. All right, let's watch Lanix pull this lever. This dwarf, how long have they been here? This dwarf has been here for 10 years. So I can tell you this, there's nothing fishy about this. It would be very weird if this dwarf was like a necromancer or something. Or sorry, no, not that's you. Old Mayor has been here for how many years? 4 years. Okay, that's not fishy either. Also drinks alcohol, so should be fine. Just managed to become a master counselor. I mean, just very high speech skills. We'll have to figure out something to do with that, though. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me extend my greetings to your people. There's much to discuss. I'm just gonna... I don't know, ask for some large gems. They want amulets next year. That shouldn't be too difficult. We'll trade with them in a moment. I just want to get this done. It's right there. I mean, you're still the bookkeeper, and I need to give you a new study. Where's that occupation? Yeah, you're just the bookkeeper. I can't remember where that actual tab is. Okay, so this should cause this to fall when this lever is pulled. Now it's either going to land here and fill this up, or it's just going to crash down and nothing's going to happen. It seems like I was worried. Or my worries were correct. Nothing. It didn't work. It just ejected the lava up and collapsed down into the ground. Well, that's unfortunate. So what I would have needed to do is drop lava down into there at the precisely same time. Which yeah. So that was largely a waste of time. However, I can now redirect water over here, which is plan B. From over... Where am I distributing that water out? Right there? Yes. So I can now redirect this water from here to up. Well, to this way. And out through there. So I can seal off this side right here. That's plan B. Sucks that it didn't work, but I kind of had a suspicion it wouldn't, so I'm not too surprised. But let's check out our new mayor. I do think this is kind of wild that they got elected, though. They're also a legendary soldier. Oh, wow. Are you in the military? Yeah, you are. You're in the Crystalline Air. Huh. So they elected a military dwarf. Huh. Also, I've got an idea. The scales of... The scales of death. The scales of... armor? Scales of armor is the name of this squad, because they have scales. And I need to give Lanix a new office. And I also need to place a door here. And let's go into here. And then this over here can just be assigned to this. 7 more bedrooms have been created. Although there should be an 8th in there. Oh man, I just realized that one of the were creatures is actually married to another dwarf in my fort. That's terrifying. And I need to make a new office for the bookkeeper, which I think could go up here. No, that's just the manager. Okay, bookkeeper. Lanix, you get this office. Oh, that's not an office. That's an office. I mean, sometimes you have to do things for science, and that's what I was trying to do there. Let's just sell off damaged clothes that I can sell. I guess I also need to figure out what... I also need to figure out exactly what the new requirement of us is. What the new demands are, if you will. New mayor ran on an ethics platform as old mayor was cooking the books. It's certainly possible. Certainly plausible. Well, gotta wait for that to get done. But yeah, I will redirect the water, and we'll try and block off the stone from that side. Great. Forgotten Beast Cathib has come. A towering feathered weevil. I love that word, weevil. Weevils are funny. Boa weevil. Anyway. It has 4 stubby horns, and it appears to be emaciated. Its dark scarlet feathers are long and narrow. Beware its deadly spittle. It is... Bow Weevil is down here. The Monkey of Night. Alrighty, monkey. The great night monkey is here to do the night monkeying, and also probably go off and die, because it's not a particularly threatening critter. It has no historic known kills. Are all snoots and bugs. Unserious bug. They do eat my lettuce, so I hate them, but aesthetically they are funny as fuck. They are very funny. They are a high-tier bug. Very funny bug. They're also the only pest I ever managed to get indoors on my lettuce when I grow stuff indoors in the winter. And, I was gonna say, this weevil has direct access to my fort, I think. Yeah, it super duper does. It probably won't. And if it does, it's weak. It's just a weevil. Weevil, stab it in the head. If it causes us problems. Okay, what actually was that? The lesser of 2 weevils? Correct. What's up, her? High-tier bug? Somebody also probably got a bonus at some point for fixing a high-tier bug. So who is this? Tobiados Anokoknon. Born in 1056, went missing in the year 1079. Slayer of the... Oh, that must have been one of the original residents of here. Must have been. Is it yeah, well, I had to put the memorials somewhere and it was convenient at the time and it's just kind of stuck. course, you decide to get thirsty right after doing that. And my broker is meditating on fire. Not on fire, but is meditating on the concept of fire instead of trading. Pokemon has a grave tower? That's kind of grim. Weevil rock you indeed, Kravswaga. Weevil indeed rock you. Also, I was informed by Kravicus to quick save. I missed this, so I will quick save now. Once again, I do have to say thank you to the 74 of you watching on YouTube, but don't forget to leave a like on the stream. It is kind of cool seeing the Stop Killing Games initiative push forward, though. That was another thing that has just been kind of bumming me out over the last, like, year, basically. Oh, Jesus. Opening my email was a mistake. I got 15 emails from the building right now. I'm just going to... I'll look at that tomorrow or tonight. But one other thing I want to check since we're in an ad break... where are you? Ilmirin, are you still in chat? So I'm checking the daily minimum, and we are currently $14 away from the daily minimum. I'm not too worried about hitting it now. So thumbs up. I'll probably hit it in ad revenue, actually. That just takes like 12 hours to update. But... there's a thing that says under gift subs, it's like revenue minus $3.91 in revenue adjustments. I'd be willing to bet that was you. So let me know if you actually get charged. Whoa. Thanks for $10.
Cal cheered. X1000. Now you're closer.
Appreciate you. That means a lot. Which actually makes a bit of sense. I do see that every now and again. So yeah, that's probably what happened there. Checking to get around to beers for the Vainkel. Chucking the $10 into the chat. I'm just going to request anyone at the depot so we can just trade. It doesn't matter so much. Because this dwarf's busy doing some very intense praying. I'll say Kvak. Okay. I'm just going to remove that so I can give them gifts. I'm going to take all of the wood. They brought a black bear. I'll take the black bear. Why not? Also take the Borax Kairos. That's a brand of cleaner, isn't it? Borax? Or a type of cleaner, I guess, not a brand. Also buy the books. They have a book just called Sport. I really like that. I like that book a lot, actually. Just Sport. I don't need to buy those splints. Actually, I would like to buy this. And I'll buy the cheese. Also go up a bit and buy this. And the fish and the meats. And then these I'll just offer as a gift. Borax is a chemical compound / rock. Well, interesting. It's always fun to know what things actually are. Let's just go here. And then down in here, let's just go across here and throw that in. And I will place a pressure plate that locks this if something that isn't a dwarf walks over that. Okay, so digging down through here. Oh, that's the edge of the map. That's unfortunate. Good news is I have a shit ton more gold. That's good news, I think. Let's try and find some more gold. That's not what I said. I did say more gold, but if that's what you thought I said, fair enough. Next, you're going to tell me that we're seeking Davy Jones's locker. Or Mordor. One of the two. Personally, I feel like the world needs less doors, but... I'm going to throw a rock right there. And can I put a door here right now? Yes, I can. So I'm going to put a rock right there and a door right there to stop flow. And then when we turn this sucker back on, water's going to go all the way this way. And then down into here. Except something else I'm going to do is I'm going to actually block this with a drawbridge, I think. Although actually, what I could do to speed this process up would be to go to here. Let's actually go there. Yeah, because they can now go down through here. And then up this way. Except this down here area, I'm going to expend a bit. So we can get a little bit of extra water. And so that when I blast this with water, we'll just get a bunch more out all at once, because I want to seal this off, or as much of that off as possible, and as much of this off as possible. So I kind of want to eject some water out into here. So if I can do that with some pressurized water, that's actually a really good thing. What's up, Grumpy? You had a migrant wave show up, and you... In a cavern? I also didn't know that that was possible. Do you have any mods running, perchance, or is that vanilla? Because that's kind of wild, actually. I didn't know that was possible. Huh. You had to dig down to them. What in the world? That's crazy. Have you settled somewhere different than you normally do? Like, what could... Chad, has anybody else ever seen that? Because I certainly haven't. That's... Huh. Said they were on level 6. Your fort is around the 40s. Huh. Well, that's new to me. I've never heard of that happening before. Like, holy crap. That's kind of wild. I don't know. That's a new one.